Comedy Jonah.
Hello, everyone. Boy, I'm a little busy today in the show.
I told John he's not allowed to change a goddamn thing because it's the best he's ever looked. It only has taken 10 years for him to figure out how to get the light and the camera and everything to work. Oh my God, congratulations.
Yay! I did it finally. It took a decade.
It took a decade of love behind your wonderful photo, John. Now, we apologize. Well, I apologize. John has nothing to apologize for this show being late. I was sickly. I'm still a little sickly. There might be a point during the show where I have to get up and run away for a moment, and John has to keep talking.
Keep it going. It's a live. Yeah, it's a live show. You got to keep it moving. Keep it moving.
To quote Julie Chen, Lamar, you know this is a live show.
I'll be saying that to Eric. Eric, go throw up, but it's a live show.
Go throw up. It's a live show. Now, people did ask, just to be clear, how is your sparkle denim shirt coming along?
Really good.
Okay, it's good improv. Love that. For anyone that forgets, John and I have a contest going for our finale recap where we're going to recreate Carson's sparkle glitter shirt that he wore again on last night's episode. And whichever one of us has recreated it the best, we let you decide. And I think that's it. So
Amazon says it will be here. I'm sorry, what?
Oh, forget it. I was going to say, we vote, for the people are going to vote for which one they like the best, and the loser should have to give away their shirt to someone.
Okay. I just not drag.
No, but I'm saying, what if I love my shirt? I'm saying I'm not doing that. What if I love my shirt? I don't want to give it away.
You can have mine, win or lose.
I don't think it'd fit. I'm so tall. You're short. I'm tall.
I'm giving it away to anyone who are you giving it away to again?
We'll just give it away to someone in the chat on our finale show, whoever's in the live show.
Whoever wants it, I'll send it to you.
You're going to love the shirt.
I'll make 2.
Oh my God. Okay, so anyway, you all, that'll be fun. We're doing that for a little bit of finale fun. But now we have to talk about what hasn't been fun. And this is not last episode. We have to go back 2 episodes, John, to when Carson and Cynthia broke our hearts for believing the shit that Todrick and Misha were shoveling to them. Could you believe it?
Listen, you've been sick with the booster. Because the show's been delayed, I have been sick with this. Because I could not express myself until this show. Now, I was giving Carson the benefit of the doubt. Carson is smart. But he's not BB smart. I was absolutely horrified that Shayna got voted out. She got so royally screwed. I'm voting her for MVP. She got my vote because you don't backdoor someone who just saved your butt in the previous week.
And I'm getting sick of Carson's puns. Like, in all honesty, I don't really like backdooring. But I might have to make an exception. Shut up, Carson.
I like backdooring.
First of all, Carson stole my brand. Or I guess Carson was first, so I stole Carson's brand. But I realized how much of what I say is very Carson, like sports ball. And I
Listen,
don't backdoor.
my neighbor texted me before I saw the episode on the West Coast and said, oh my God, he's like, the way Carson was doing the HOH comp last night reminded me so much of you. Call the trademark police. I'm like, no, probably call them on me because I think Carson's older than I am. So,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
no, I get the same thing, and I take it as a compliment. I like the puns. I think Carson's hilarious. I think Carson is sticking to his brand, which is fine, but he's not playing a great game. And like we saw last night, freaking Todd woke up and could taste every single thing and won the HOH. So, they were in some serious trouble. You
I
in
mean,
danger, girl. Yeah.
oh, I have a lot to say about the tasting, but I want to go back to, the 2 episodes ago first. So,
Okay.
because here's my question. Is Carson, like, do you think Carson is just sticking to his brand? Like, do we think Carson really did understand what was going on and was just like, ugh, but now they brought this to me, and if I don't act on it, how am I gonna look? You know what I mean? Because he was very concerned, like if you watch the live feeds, he was very concerned about how this was gonna look in the edit, that the, casual show watcher would not understand why is getting backdoored. Shayna is getting backdoored.
Listen, I think Carson knows that Shayna will understand, right? We saw her in the exit interview with Julie. She was fine. She made that comment about Todrick and swaying the jury votes, which she's not going to do. She just did it to be, a bitter Betty, which who wouldn't be, right? But I think, Carson works with Todrick. And girl, RuPaul Charles does not like queens fighting. And so if Carson doesn't make a big deal in the house as far as maybe blowing up Todrick's story about that, his brand is good, right? And if anything comes out, maybe Todrick maybe looks a little, like a little liar or a shit stir. It's not going to be on Carson. Carson's got his paycheck from RuPaul and everywhere else that he goes. So is it smart? Yeah, in the long run. Is it BB smart? Absolutely not. You don't get rid of the people who save you. You would have gone home, Carson. You still would have had your brand, but you wouldn't be there right now. And Cynthia, poor thing, she's got her own wine tasting. She can't taste a thing.
And we're getting You keep jumping to the next episode. I'm living in the past right now. We are not on last night's episode
I'm
yet.
upset. I'm
I'm sorry.
emotional.
Yeah,
I
I
know.
am still angry about Carson's moves. And I just have to say, Miss Vancouver in the chat says, Cynthia convinced Carson it's all her fault. And I mean, I will say this. We also knew that all this happened, and we talked all about it in the spoilers section of our last show, was what was on the television show 2 shows ago. So I know people kind of got our thoughts on it already. But yeah, Cynthia is the one who convinced him, number one. So, I definitely am blaming Cynthia. I'm glad she's peachless. But we also learned that they're getting $5,000 in eviction.
Yeah, which,
And,
I mean, what's that, glam for a week for Cynthia? Listen, I think Cynthia's getting her reality shows mixed up because if that was a Housewives of Atlanta and they were playing both sides of a friendship and then you call that person out, that makes sense. Not in the BB house. You can play both sides.
correct.
That's what doesn't make
But
sense. So it's like, Cynthia, which show are you on? Hello, hello.
Well, that's the fault of Carson and Cynthia. I think at the end of the day, that's the perfect way to put it. Carson and Cynthia do not know the game. They truly feel that when they're like, We're gonna do it the honest way, not shady. Like, what are you talking? This is the lie and manipulate game. What? And by the way, you know who else I blame for this? Ross. Because you know what? We're all just like Todrick, Todrick, Todrick. It's all his fault for going to. No, fuck Todrick, fuck Ross. Okay? Because Ross should have debriefed Carson on how to play Big Brother. What was Ross doing before this season that he didn't even explain the bare basics of Big Brother to freaking Carson? And Ross is like a day one Big Brother fan. He, like, season one.
And Carson even real friends in real life?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, what is Rue gonna do? Rue has now had Ross, Carson, and Todrick all on this show. I think at the end of the season, you know, Lost and Concruised in chat, or we were saying the other night when we were talking about it, that he feels like Rue is gonna not be happy with Todrick at all.
That's what I'm saying about Carson. Carson's thinking of his brand. Now, he may not be, but you know what? RuPaul's a competition show as well. And when those queens get a little bitchy and manipulate, you know, it's encouraged. So I don't know. I mean, a lot of people, there's a lot of gossip out there with Todrick.
Oh.
Shows that he doesn't pay people. And, you know, no matter how you feel about him, I'm looking at Todrick at a strategic or in the game, right? As far as how he's playing the game. And I think he's doing great. He saved Misha, the biggest threat in the house. That is huge. And, you know, for her last night to be like, yep, I did it. I did it all myself.
Oh, yeah.
No, you didn't, Misha. No, you didn't. Todrick
No,
did.
you did nothing yourself.
Okay.
I mean, you got to separate. I mean, you don't have to, but we're separating Todrick's game moves from his personal opinions of people. Because I know people's problem with Todrick is they don't like how he talks personally about the other house guests. So the slut shaming Shayna, or, you know, talking about their families. Those things, we're all in agreement. That's not right of Todrick to do. But on a game level, the things that he makes happen in the game, 100%. He literally convinced the person who got saved last week, knew he was the giant target of the house. They convinced that person not to come after them, instead to go after the person that saved them.
That saved them, had another vote, was part of their alliance. So get backdooring Shayna. Now it's 2 against 4 at that time. So at that time.
But they're not playing shady.
Exactly. You know, another thing too from the previous episode that I didn't really like is when Carson had his HOH and he's like, who wants to see my HOH room? And Misha's like, I'm not going to be fake. That is not fake. It's called sportsmanship. Okay,
don't steal my tweet.
You should have went. Oh, did you tweet it out? Because do I follow you? Because I don't. I was like, okay, now I'm kind of done
Sportsmanship.
With her. Yeah.
That is literally what I tweeted out. I was like, that's not called being fake. It's called being a bad sport.
Yeah.
Like, go and look at the room. What am I missing? It's because, again, it's not like they had some big fight. It's not like they're enemies and screaming at each other and now she's going to go pretend like they're friends. No, you've been cordial to each other the whole time.
But now you'll believe her, who can't even go to your HOH room, to be like, well, you know, the way Misha presents herself, I believe her. What are you talking about, Carson?
I don't know.
You still drinking from the bathtub? In the bathtub still?
Like, it really sucks. Like, if I could have any, you know, wish, it would just be that Carson would come and do this show with us. Yeah. Because I would just love to yell at him. Like, I would just be like, first question, what?
We could all wear our shirts and just...
We'll all wear our... When we make the sparkle shirts, we make a little PSA pleading for Carson to come on and talk to us, and then we tweet it at him
Mm-hmm.
in our sparkle shirts.
In our sparkle shirts, please, Carson.
Please. But that's what I want to do. I just want to yell at him and be like what? Like, what do you want to say? Make it better, Carson. Pretend this is an episode of Queer Eye. We had the beautiful Big Brother house. Then these idiots moved in and ruined the whole thing. And now we need you and your Fab Five to make it better. So make it better.
Make it nice. As Dorinda would say, make it nice.
Yeah, everybody does get fired, don't they? Why were Carson and Shayna such comp beasts and such threats and Misha isn't, says Annie. This is the thing that I don't understand. I mean, I do understand it for Carson. I get the point that people are making. People are saying Carson is so likable. Anybody that sits next to Carson, Carson's gonna take the vote. But then what does that say about your game? Then that says your game sucks and you have no ability to communicate. Because I don't care if I'm sitting next to Carson and I can express to the jury, I made all of these moves. I wasn't mean to you. I didn't lie to you. I did it, like, all of these things. He could win. Like, that person could win. You did, in other words, these people didn't have to lie and manipulate. The Todricks and the Mishas didn't have to lie, manipulate, and make up these stories to get to the end. You chose to do that, which is why you have no chance against Carson. Had you went and worked with Carson and played an honest game, there would not have been a need for that, and your argument would have been just as good as his at the end. I agree, the whole thing is stupid. We know it's more physical comps. Misha is the biggest threat.
Please, if they were working with Carson and they were all on the lines getting themselves farther into the game, it would have been boring. Everybody would be complaining, this season sucks. Nobody's making moves. Burp, burp, burp. That's what we've heard, because we've heard it in the past. Yeah. Todrick is making moves. Todrick is making up stories, which is what we love. He's the villain, just like you said. He's been typecast as that. And I'm fine with it. I love it. But if anybody's sitting next to Todrick, especially these jurors who get to go home and watch all the episodes and go through all the highlights on the Paramount Plus app.
Available on Roku.
Available on Roku. They get to watch those highlights and some of those feeds. They get all the information, which a typical BB juror does not. So they're going to know that he lied. So Carson can sit there and I played an honest, nice game. I protected my brand. And you're not going to vote for Todrick or Misha because they're liars.
Right, but he's not going to get there because of that.
Exactly, because...
And Todrick and me...
Yeah,
Sorry, go ahead.
No,
I was just going to say Todrick and Misha need each other. If they're not sitting next to each other at the end, whoever is next to the other one, I don't see winning. You know what I mean? So, like, if it's Misha and anybody else but Todrick, the other person is winning. If it's Todrick and anybody else but Misha, the other person's winning. I don't think that... I think... the Chris Kirkpatricks, the Shaynas, these people are going to be pissed seeing Todrick's and Misha's game, yeah.
Will Kirkpatrick, though, he likes Big Brother. He's all about making the moves and exploding the house. He might vote for Todrick if Todrick is sitting there.
I do not think so, because I think Kirkpatrick, as a super fan of the show, is also a super fan of it on social media and is smart enough to see that everybody hates Todrick and he is not going to want to attach his cart to that horse.
Yeah.
To that point, I think you were right about RuPaul now. We're thinking about this all wrong. We're thinking RuPaul is going to want to distance herself from Todrick. I think she's going to want to make Todrick and Carson permanent panel guests for the next season in hopes that people are going to tune in to see if they're going at each other over on Drag Race now.
Oh, yeah.
Or if I was Todrick's agent, that's how I would spin it to Ru.
Uh-huh. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I think it could be a little bit of that. And then exactly, what you were saying, the Big Brother audience is a fickle bunch, John. Like, we don't want to steamroll, but we don't want you to do too well. You got to do good, but you can't brag. You got to be the underdog, but don't win too much. You got, just don't step out of line. It is such a thin line from we love you to we have you fired from your job. The line's this thin.
It's just a box that is just tiny.
You can't fit in there.
Kind of a box.
We will complain about anything that happens on the season.
So if Todrick and Misha are sitting side by side, who wins?
God, I hope Todrick. Sorry, I know that's not I know that's not popular, and not just because I want, the gay to win. And normally you all know I always say I want a female to win, but I'm sorry, Todrick is the one that's done more to help if they get to the end, it is because of what Todrick did. Misha would have been gone. Well, therefore,
and Misha did. Misha won every HOH so far that except for this last one, right? She's won the two HOHs out of 3, and Todrick made up that story. So as a duo, they're playing the Big Brother game.
They're playing the Big Brother game. I just don't think Todrick was... In other words, Misha didn't... yes, Misha won HOHs, which kept Todrick safe 100%. But Todrick, not really in danger from the other side of the house. Misha was. So Todrick did save Misha. So far... Up until this point, Misha did not have to save Todrick. So only for that reason am I saying I would give it to Todrick over Misha right now.
Yes. And I love it just when they were calling out Shayna, and she's like, Todrick, what about you coming to me and saying if Misha leaves, you need another bitch?
And they didn't even acknowledge it. Well, it's so funny. Well, here's the thing. It is funny what Misha holds on to. She doesn't listen when another female says something like that, but if Lamar, a man, says it, then she puts so much more weight on it. She very much, Misha does not appear to be a girl's girl. But I also agree with what Courtney is saying in chat of Todrick didn't manage the people leaving the house well enough. Now, I do agree with that. Todrick, berated Chris Kirkpatrick before he left, and Chris Kirkpatrick bought it, but I have a feeling now in the real world, Chris Kirkpatrick knows all that is bullshit, and he made it personal for no reason. I think Chris Kirkpatrick's going to be pissed about that. I think we know that, Shayna said she'll turn the whole jury against him. Shayna, once Carson finds out that Todrick lied, I take it back. I think Carson will vote for Todrick. Carson knew Todrick was coming after him, and he said he wasn't even putting him up even before he made that deal. So I think Carson is being loyal to the other gay that he works with regardless. I don't know this game. This is your thing. You love this game, Todrick. It's your thing. I'm not going to hate you. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Carson's going to be like that.
And it's the brand, and I'm going to be the good angel, and you're going to be the devil. And that's how we're going to play this. Yeah.
Right. It'll be interesting. I agree. It'll be interesting. All right, so let's talk now about last night's episode. So whatever. Sheena left. She's going to taint the jury. Blah, 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 blah. Whatever, Sheena. I will say on a personal Sheena note, we know that the boyfriend that went to TMZ during the season,
Mm-hmm.
Like he went to Shayna's boyfriend during the season went to TMZ and was like, "I'm buying a ring, an engagement ring. Come follow me." And then Sheena did like absolutely nothing with Lamar, and then he went back to TMZ and was like, "I'm calling it off. She's a whore." And then he unfollowed her everywhere. And then poor Sheena got backdoored, not picked to play, voted off after helping everybody, comes out, finds out he's unfollowed her and removed her everywhere. All of her exit interviews get rescheduled. Clearly, she's a little upset about that. Um,
Yeah.
well, I mean, I heard that they're all coming out today. I hear that they're coming out today. Um, all I can say to and Sheena ended up unfollowing him as well. And all I can say to you, Sheena, because I know this is the first show you're gonna watch, good for you, girl. I mean, for the love of God, you are in reality TV, and if you are engaged or in a relationship or anything with somebody who is this jealous over something that happens on a reality TV show, oh, girl, good thing you found out now.
Bye, bye, bye.
Yeah, to quote a Kirkpatrick, bye, bye, bye. Okay, so anyway, bye, Shayna. At least I learned your name. Here's the thing. We did. We learned it. I'm very proud of me. Okay, so now we're jumping on to last night's episode. Obviously, the HOH. Carson again strutting out in his denim sparkly shirt. I get to be a bartender. I loved how Lamar was like, a Lamar-garita? That's so clever. It's like, no, that was like the easiest one to do, Lamar.
Well,
It's literally a margarita.
I was disappointed that Todrick was just such a wuss about it. I mean, my gosh, what a queen. I'm not
Yeah.
drinking this.
Well, that just added to people's disgust of Todrick. But in all honesty, I don't blame him. I would have not done that HOH.
Oh, they eat worse things on Survivor. It's just, what? A little sauerkraut and some wasabi? Ooh, I can't. I'm just too big of a celebrity. I can't do it.
I don't think it has anything to do with being a celeb. Like, I couldn't do it either. There's no way I'm drinking fish juice with bologna and no way. I gag at the smell.
$250,000.
But I'm not getting 200. If you would have
For a
said at the end of the
$5,000 eviction. Just kidding.
Okay, that is a better way to put it. You're right. I guess I am getting $10,000. You're right. I think I would have to keep repeating to myself, this is getting you. Because it would, essentially. I would get another week. I would get another $10,000. You're right. So I probably would have sucked that up.
A little fish oil. I mean, come on.
Or I would have just smelled it. Like, you got to be able to smell them.
We all know that Todrick and you have had worse things in your mouth. Come on.
Well, yeah, 100%. And, but what's up with Todd? What's up with Todd Bridges being like this culinary, like all of a sudden he's like Gordon Ramsay, like, I taste a little bit of a sage with a hint of mascarpone.
He he did better than most chefs on like Top Chef on Bravo.
Seriously.
Like, what? I thought, maybe he was sleeping because he was a little burp, a little drunk all the time. But man, he looked fresh. He looked good. He got every single thing right. I was just like, wow. I was so impressed with Todd Bridges. I was just like, oh my gosh. And then to see Carson's face slowly change. And I even think there were hints of, what did I do? I got rid of Shayna. I made a deal with the devil, the two devils, yet this came out of nowhere. Didn't he? He's not even strategizing. Him and Cynthia. That's a perfect proof that you're not thinking 3 or 4 steps ahead in this game, which is what you need to do. Exactly. You never even factored in Todd winning something, or Lamar, who doesn't know if he's in a veto comp or an HOH comp, or I just want to know when I'm going to be going in the backyard. You know what I mean? So... yeah. Bad gameplay, Carson.
Well, John, I actually have a surprise for you. No, before this show, I got in contact with your hubs, And I have concocted the John Collins. He is going to be bringing it into the room in one moment. It is, okay, are you ready? Beluga egg, moldy cheese,
Moldy cheese.
unicorn tears,
Oh, I love those. Yummy.
and a splash of street mud. Now, there's one other ingredient that we're not sure of, and you have to figure out.
Perfect. And when I'm evicted, I'll get the 10,000 then, or will you just Venmo me?
Then I realized that your hubs works, and he wouldn't be there to do that. But I tried. It was a good idea, and then I really was gonna be like, what are the most disgusting liquids you have in your house right now? Need you to combine them all. And then he was like, rat poison, and I was like, okay, I think you two need therapy.
Let me just remove him from all life insurances. Okay.
What's life insurance? Okay, so, yeah, I thought, look, I don't understand why they couldn't smell. Number one, I mean, Cynthia, not for nothing, for the love of God, you just should have shut your mouth about having your own signature drink. I mean, literally, for those of you that don't watch Atlanta, her storyline last season was how she doesn't know one thing about wine tasting, and her friend was mocking her about how bad she is at wine, not knowing the flavors and the notes, and there's literally...
Owns a wine room.
Who owns a wine room. This was her storyline last season. So if you don't think production was being shady with this competition, you're wrong. So then she's just like, I'm gonna win this from Carson. Okay, here I go. And she's literally like this. It's too much. I'm like, for the love of Christ, Cynthia, sip it. You're like dipping your tongue into it. God damn it. You've already ruined the season, Cynthia. Can you at least fucking try?
It's just on the rim. Barbecue
Oh my
sauce.
God, I hate her.
Barbecue.
This is all up to me now. It's all up to me.
Come on, Cynthia. You gotta do it.
I don't like the lady pond.
It's like, nope, it's a margarita. It's salt, Cynthia.
Yeah. And not for nothing, doesn't like the limes, the lemons, the garnish on the glass, isn't that really taking away from the other ingredient? I would literally go, lime, you didn't say lime, I win.
Here's what I noticed, too, in that competition, was that they were drinking it, and there were so many funky ingredients. People were just like, I don't know, garlic. Todd waited for the aftertaste. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
And then went, oh, I thought I knew what it was. Oh, but it's this. It's garlic, or it's barbecue. Yeah. He waited for the aftertaste, which I thought was very interesting. But man, I mean, as great as Cynthia is a buddy in the house, to sit there and say, okay, we got a fighting chance now. It's all up to you, Cynthia. I would be packing my bags. I'd be packing my bags. Love it, Cynthia. Thanks so much. You do it, girl.
You're doing great.
You're doing great. Can't wait for you to win the veto. That's my shirt. Give it back to me.
Cynthia, lost and confused in the chat says, not to be shady, but with the lack of mouth skills that Cynthia was showing, no wonder Peter strayed in that marriage.
Oh.
We don't allow oh, that would be anti-slut shaming.
Peter was so gross.
But that's okay, because we don't like Cynthia, so we're allowed to be mean to her.
I love Cynthia. I just don't think she should be on Celebrity Big Brother. But
or Candy should have just given her any piece of advice.
Well, if they were really friends, they would. Yeah. Yeah, Peter was gross. I'm glad she's with her current husband. But, Cynthia, again, is just thinking of her brand. She's just like, I'm doing this. I didn't do anything bad.
She should have stopped. She should have thought of her brand and just not even mention that she has a brand. If she was thinking of her brand, I'm sure literally her investors are like, please stop talking. Please, I'm sure they're on the phone with CBS like, you
Well,
cannot air
you know
this.
me. I have a wine room. So tasting all fine flavors is right up my alley.
Right up my alley in my wine tasting room. I'm the only one here with a signature drink.
Barbecue sauce. Nope, garlic. Oh, I guess I don't.
How do you mix up barbecue sauce and garlic? Like, I don't get it. I understood, like, ginger and what was the
Yeah,
other one? Like, those ones I
sauerkraut.
got. Barbecue sauce and garlic? I don't get it. And none of you are smokers, so you can't, like, use that as your excuse.
Right.
Um, okay, so then, Todd wins. Great. Worst case scenario, Big Brother gods literally hate us. And then Todd has to pick two people to be the brand representatives. And he's gonna pick Lamar and Todrick. And he said his reasoning was because if it was something bad, he needed people who would forgive him.
Well, he thinks that if Carson leaves, he can get Cynthia on his side, right?
Right.
So, hey, I didn't put you up. Yeah, we've been arguing in the house, but I didn't put you up. Yeah, I'm sorry Carson is gone, but he was a threat to my game. But now you and I can work together, right? So it's
Yeah.
kind of smart. It's nice that he's starting to play the game, unlike Lamar just sitting there right after the HOH going, yeah, I was going to vote for Misha. It's like, why are you talking out loud? Like, what is, I just,
Well, I don't
you know,
even.
as
Yeah.
much as Carson and Cynthia's integrity game annoys me, the fact that we're still explaining what to do in a veto and how it works when we've got a week left, Lamar, really? Like, how do you memorize all those plays with basketball when you can't even, like, even if you don't know the game after the first week of an entire week, it's like, okay, now we're back to the beginning. Remember when we all did that HOH? Now we've gone a full course. Now we're back here and still asking questions absolutely drives me insane.
Um yes, I don't understand a lot of Lamar. I mean, I know why people are loving Lamar at the moment. I just did not understand, like, we know he has trouble processing things cuz even in his DR he was like, I'm not a mascot. I'm the NBA star. Why would you make me a mascot? This isn't a basketball game, moron! Because you're not playing basketball. You're doing Big Brother, and it's a punishment. He's not literally saying, for the rest of your life, you're now a mascot. What am I missing? I don't understand. I can't. I can't.
No, it's just insane. But I thought it was hilarious that he did name Misha, and then you're right, and she doesn't really acknowledge the women or listen to the women. I never really thought about it till you said that. But as soon as a man does something, because Misha's got a lot of masculine energy, which is why Todrick is attracted to her. And so she definitely cued it onto that. So when Todd was running that by her, she's good at going, I think that's a great decision, and slowly starting to kind of maneuver it a little bit. She's very clever with that. But, you know, what's not so clever is that, if Cynthia wins, she can take Todrick off. They're both safe. So he did provide them kind of a loophole, which I'm shocked that Misha didn't correct before the noms were done last night, right?
Yeah, and I mean, Wendy in chat brought up a good point. He did have like 20 strokes, a bunch of seizures, so,
Who?
maybe he just. Lamar. So maybe that's
Oh, I
affected
thought
his
you meant
process.
Todd on different strokes. A bunch of strokes.
Imagine
But
if different
isn't that
strokes was about the
interesting?
different ways you had strokes, and these are just all people who have had strokes.
Different strokes to rule the world. That's awful. What am I doing? I'm a monster.
People
That's
having different
what I
strokes through the world, and then we just watch them all having strokes.
do.
Trademark, trademark, trademark.
But
Um,
but Lamar did have a bunch of strokes. That's terrible.
Different strokes could have been Todd and Lamar's alliance name. I agree. That's very true.
Oh my!
All these people wasted so many good opportunities. They
I know.
wasted so many good opportunities. But look, here's so they got the costume punishment. Lamar is a mojito, which Big Brother. Can we talk for a minute? I don't understand you, okay? You probably spent all this money building that freaking bar set, and then you sent the intern to like Party City to buy the cheapest mojito costume? That was embarrassing. Didn't you start the season with Mon Wan featuring all of the amazing costumes that have been on Big Brother throughout the years? Todd doesn't even look like a fucking lemon. He looks like somebody wrapped a green sheet around him.
He's
What am
looking
I
long.
missing? It is the worst. It is literally like the accountant called at the end of that competition and went, "The entire budget is gone. I know that you announced a costume. The entire budget is gone. I suggest looking in the dumpster behind Party City for the costume."
Put it on your own debit card, and we'll reimburse you. Todrick was a lime, and he was attached.
Oh,
to
that was a lime?
That was a lime. Lemon.
Looked like a snot rocket. Looks like somebody went and put out a snot rocket, and there's like a green snot hanging on the glass.
I
The
could
glass.
not imagine being tethered to Lamar because he was walking and he farted.
Well, the fans love that because they hate Todrick.
Yeah. I would be like, oh my God, this is horrible. Having to sit there and lay in the bed next to him and be like, oh my gosh, when is this over? Yeah, it's just, oh.
Well,
but
the fans,
bad. For Celebrity Big Brother, they were bad.
they were really bad. People are tuning in. It's Celebrity Big Brother. What am I missing? Whatever. So, on the live feeds, thanks to our live feed updaters at BB Live Updaters, we got to some more of the serious moments that they obviously weren't going to air on the show of Todrick and Lamar being chained together, where Lamar kind of got into a fight with Todrick and was like, I'm sick of you making everything about race. Like, stop acting like, Shayna is bad, because of her skin color, or that we have to stick together because of our skin color. Like, we're just all people playing this game. And he kind of like he was like giving it to him, on the live feed. So there was that. He also ripped up 2 of Todrick's playing cards. You know how they always play solitaire? Well, he got a little mad at Todrick and he just ripped up the cards.
I'm loving Lamar more and more. Lamar's right. I mean, that's ultimately where we all should be as humans, right? In that thinking, right?
Yeah.
Seeing color, but celebrating color and differences and stuff like that. That's where we should all be. But we're not. And so I'm seeing Todrick's side too, as far as representation, especially coming off the Cookout, especially the Cookout being at Todrick's house. You know what I mean? We've had a lot of, kind of Black excellence talks, I'm sure, and then wanting to carry this over to Celebrity Big Brother. I see why it's being like that, but they're kind of both right. I think we should.
I don't
be
think
like,
you can. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it's for us to tell anyone what they are, not just, a person of color. Like anyone, I don't think it's for us to tell anyone you can't feel how you feel at all. We're just reporting just the facts. But, to that point, there are people that say they feel that Todrick has undone everything the Cookout has done. That, like, the Cookout went in and did it all for, like, positive. I think Lamar's point, or, like, what Lamar was trying to say to Todrick was, you're kind of weaponizing
Mm.
race where, this season almost, whereas the Cookout, it was about celebrating it and sticking together, in
Mhm.
spite of it and willing to sacrifice it, where, Lamar feels like you're bringing it up in a way that's almost weaponizing it against people. So I don't know. Again, I agree with you. I don't, it's not
But I
for
mean,
me to say.
is there some underlying talks with that? Is that maybe why Lamar exploded? Todd
Yeah,
Bridges didn't vote for Cynthia. They've been arguing and bickering. If Cynthia was another race, would he have put her up if she was tethered to Carson like
probably.
she is? Probably.
Well,
Is there this underlying talk of, us black folk got it, we're gonna stick together regardless if we're getting along or not? And then Lamar
John.
kind of says, you know what, you're making this, it's wrong the way you're doing it this way. Is that kind of what's happening? Maybe an
John.
undertone or something?
John, I don't want to break this to you. We are not black folk. You said like us black folk, and we're not. So I don't know who's been lying to you or what filters you're using, but that is very not okay.
African American.
No, I think that here's what I think. Yes, I'm agreeing with what you're saying, and I also have been saying the same thing about Carson to Todrick. Is Carson protecting Todrick because he's gay? In the way, if I was playing that game, I would be like, I don't know, that's another gay. I understand their life struggle. I don't want to be a person that's sending out another, gay man. They only let one of us play a season, so I got to keep him around if we have two for. So yeah,
But
I think it.
then you have
Yeah,
Todrick going, okay, do I sacrifice the gay or do I stick with my race? Do you know what I mean? Is that
yeah,
what's happening?
right.
So
I
he's
think
saying
that
bye to
it's
the gay.
hard. Right. Well, body the. I mean, I would too. No, I wouldn't. If I was Todrick, I would have literally, no pun, just licked Carson's butt. Uh,
I would have
that's your
told.
brand, buddy. You want more. Obviously, he is closer with Rue than you. He gets more appearances on it. Like, clearly, Carson is around more and more experienced in this
Carson makes
industry than you.
Yeah, Carson makes a
This
bigger
is
paycheck than Todrick does.
Yeah, like this would have been such an opportunity for you to grow and learn from,
Mhm.
an elder gay. And I think probably maybe Todrick's ego, I think his ego got the better of him this whole season. I think the Cookout gassed him up. He
Mhm.
thinks he's going in here, guns blazing, no problem at all. He has production on his side, which I think he might have production on his side. Again, our live feed updaters I saw were tweeting yesterday, I believe it was yesterday, how all of a sudden Todrick has just started talking about how he feels bad about slut shaming and how he used to do that in his past and all the thing. All the stuff that everyone was complaining about that he did with Sheena the
Yeah,
week prior. Now all of a sudden it's like now he's on the apology tour for something that he didn't know anything about. So like it just seems interesting.
yeah.
Like, where is Todrick getting this information from? Could be his DR.
Production.
Could be his DR. Well, look, I don't think production rigs the game anymore. I know if you go back to any show, the first 6, 7 seasons of reality recaps, you will see that I have said they rig Big Brother to no end. They ain't rigging it. Again, they would have rigged All Stars. I think they would have wanted to keep Carson in. I think last season they would have wanted. I just don't believe that they. I don't think that they do it in that way anymore. I just don't.
No, and maybe we don't know if Cynthia had maybe a little chat with him, or
Yeah.
we don't know. We don't know, and that he could maybe kind of see like, oh my gosh, I didn't even realize I was doing it. I'm doing the thing that I don't like, right? So
Yeah. And speaking of Lamar, I saw that Lamar was mad. I mean, Todrick was mad that Lamar called him vain. Um, Tamar, the winner, that was last season, right? Tamar was the winner last season. She on Twitter Our live feed updaters, again, at BB Live Updaters, were the only people covering the stuff Todrick was saying about her. So people just started like screen grabbing our updaters tweets and tweeting them at Tamar. And Tamar was like commenting on them and getting maybe a little upset at Todrick. There was that little bit of drama last night.
I want to know what the Cookout is saying about Todrick.
Well, they're going to stand behind them in the same way that, you couldn't have told me anything about Nicole either when she was playing,
Right.
Like, they're going to stand by their friend.
Right, but are they saying good things standing by him? Hey, what a great week Todrick had. They are?
Yeah. Yeah, of course they're standing by him. And I would argue the point that...
But they're tweeting that out. I mean, besides Derek... They're tweeting that out. They're tweeting that out, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like Oz is like, good job this week. Todrick.
I mean, they're not real. Like, they're okay. No. They're tweeting about the show. They're not necessarily like rah-ing Todrick. I mean, what's his face is? Why can I never? To this day, I just think Kyle. Yeah, Popcorn Kyle, because Sarah Beth called him Kyle, and then that's it, is literally his actual name has escaped my brain, because all I think is Sarah Beth refusing to say it and calling him Kyle, and now it's forever stuck in my brain.
That was one of my favorite shows with Sarah Beth. That was funny. But yes, Kyland, I see definitely doing that. But I see the other ones commenting about the show, but nobody's like, woohoo, Todrick, you get him. Go get him.
I mean, look, Kylan's living in the house, so he better be like woohoo. Like he's chilling in the movie theater room, so you better. I mean, God.
He's ordered his Grubhub, and it's coming, and he's watching the live feeds. Yeah, it's going to be really
fuck's sake, all I lost was my website and everything I built after All Stars. Love of God, if you're living in the fucking mansion, you better be supporting a little bit, Kylan. For the love of God. I'm like bailing out water for nothing. Kylan's over there like, oh my God, what is going to be in the movie theater today? Maybe the chef can cook me dinner. Of course, Todrick's the best. Send.
I said pastrami. Take this back. Yeah.
Love Todrick. Tweet. Whatever you say, you're the best. Tweet. Hashtag things Kylan says.
Great job this week.
Oh, Lord, I cannot with these people. Well, we have no Big Brother tonight.
Do we have any? Because have they played the veto yet?
They have played the veto, so you want the spoiler? I know that you have a hard out in 5 minutes, so I'm trying to hard get you out. Get you out hard. Who do you think won? Who would you want to win?
Cynthia.
Do you... I gotta save Carson. Do you think won it? Really? Do you think
you said who do you want to win?
Oh, that's right.
I want Cynthia. Did Cynthia win? Probably not.
No, the competition could have been who was on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, and Cynthia would still lose it. They would be like, it's one question. Who is on the Real Housewives of Atlanta? And Cynthia would be like...
One question. Was Kim Fields on the Real Housewives of Atlanta? No.
She's been like, I gotta save Carson.
Was NeNe Leakes on the Real Housewives of Atlanta? No.
So who... Okay, so that's... Yeah, we all wanted Cynthia to win, obviously. Spoiler alert, she didn't. So now, who do you think won?
Oh, because everybody can play now, right? We're down to...
Everyone can play.
I'm going to say Todd.
No, it's a POV. So it's physical. Who do you think won?
Well, I don't know what the POV is.
They're always physical. Who do you think won?
Todd shocked me with the tasting, so maybe he...
That's not physical. He likes to eat. He looks like it. That's mean. Don't do that.
Misha
Okay,
did.
of course it was Misha. Of course she
I didn't
won.
want to say the name. I didn't want to say the M word.
So she's not gonna freaking use it. Carson's going home. I literally have never wanted a season to be over more.
But you've said that before.
We all feel the same way. Like, I'm ready. Everyone,
Yeah.
don't be too sad. TikTok, Big Brother Canada starts in like 13 days, which I gotta write to PR
Ooh.
because they'll actually give us exit interviews.
Mm-hmm. I want to go there. I need to get out.
I think the days of that are over, but yeah, I want to as well.
Yeah.
We need to plan a Canada finale party and then we can do that.
Or something, yeah. But no, yeah, Carson's going home. Then Cynthia's next.
And you know what's even better than going home, everyone? Making sure that you follow, like, and subscribe wherever you are watching these shows. We really, really appreciate it. It's what helps us keep bringing you new shows, covering Big Brother Canada, etc., etc. So make sure that you do that. Share it with your friends. Put it in those Facebook groups, places where you think people would enjoy the shows. And of course, tweet us anytime at Comedy Jonah on Twitter. I'm at Reality Recaps on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, we will keep this going for all of you.
Yeah. And thanks, everybody in the YouTube chat. Chubby Bunny, we love you. It sounds like you might be going through a little bit of a hard time, but we love you. We got ZZ and Laura and Cheryl and a couple and
and
Ange and a few other people.
I want to thank Robin and Michelle and Dr. Who, Heather and Rachel and Priscilla and Lost over in the You Now chat for being top fans. Of course, you guys know the deal. I'm live over on You Now every day from about 5 o'clock until 11 p.m. We call them Eric live feeds. And we talk Big Brother and do all that fun stuff. And then we do Twitch at night with my other gay Terrence. So if Twitch is your thing, if hanging out's your thing, that's also where you can find us. Otherwise, John and I will be back here on Saturday at 3 o'clock-ish to talk about Friday night's Big Brother. Any final thought, John?
Just excited for our... Yeah, I love it. I love chatting with everybody, and I love chatting with you.
I don't know either what he was excited for because he cut out, but you guys just fill in the blank. I'm going to say it was penis. Bye, everybody!